Friends, today let's start with revision of ADC. So coming back to the first concept is related to energy band gap. So this is simply the difference between conduction band EC and valence band EV. So in metals, this band is overlapped or filled, whereas in insulators this energy band gap is high, greater than 6 electron volts, whereas in semiconductors this energy band gap is small. So the definition of hole is an empty state in valence band. We also must remember intrinsic semiconductor is a pure semiconductor with no impurities or lattice defects. So extrinsic semiconductor is an impure semiconductor or doped adding of impurities, so that concentration of electrons and holes are different from intrinsic semiconductor. So there is an advanced topic here which is also called Fermi level. So this is an energy state having probability of 1 by 2 of being occupied by an electron if no forbidden band exists. Okay, so next we shall discuss about mass action law. So this states at thermal equilibrium the product of concentration of electrons and holes is equal to square of intrinsic concentration. So I can simply write it N naught into P naught is Ni square. So where N naught is the concentration of electrons and P naught is concentration of holes, electrons concentration in conduction band, whereas hole concentration is in valence band. Also the student has to remember the intrinsic concentration depends on temperature. This is a very important point because intrinsic concentration is a pure concentration and the relation is something, so Ni square is proportional to T cube. Next we shall discuss about space charge neutrality. So this is a concept in which at electrostatic neutrality, the sum of positive charges must balance the sum of negative charges. Simply I can write it, sum of positive charge is equal to sum of negative charge. Here N0 is concentration of electrons and P0 is concentration of holes. Similarly, Nd is the concentration of donor atoms and Na is the concentration of acceptor atoms. Next we'll discuss about mobility of charge carriers. So mobility is nothing but drift velocity per unit electric field. So I can simply write mu is Vd by E, drift velocity per unit electric field. So this mobility will define how fast the charge will be traveling one place to another. So student also has to remember the electron mobility in case of germanium is 3800 centimeter square plus volt second, whereas for silicon it is 1300 centimeter square per volt second. However, for hole in case of germanium it is 1800 centimeter square plus per volt second, and for silicon it is 500 centimeter square per volt second. So now the student must understand why we select n-type charge carriers, n-type semiconductors over p-type semiconductors, because the electron mobility is always greater than hole mobility. Also, therefore, electrons can travel faster to contribute to current at same electric field. So we also have to remember at higher electric fields the product of mobility and electric field will become constant. So this rule will not hold good at every point of time. Okay. So next, in the starting of the lecture I told you about energy gap, and this energy gap depends on temperature and interatomic spacing. So I can simply write this Eg is Eg naught minus beta naught into T. The units are electron volts. So at room temperature, this has been asked in many number of times, the Eg naught value in case of germanium is 0.785 electron volts, and the same Eg naught for silicon at 0 degrees is 1.21 electron volts. So these two values are important. So next, a relatively new concept, Hall effect. So this Hall effect explains the concept of semiconductor. So when a semiconductor bar or specimen is carrying a current is placed in a transverse magnetic field, here the intensity is B, then an electric field is induced in a direction perpendicular to both I and P. So simply I can imagine so if I place a X, Y, Z, so if current, if the current carrying semiconductor is placed in a magnetic field, then electric field will be produced perpendicular to both these two. So I can simply remember the formula VH is E into D, where E is the electric field and D is the separation of lower surface at upper surface. So what is the use of this Hall effect? This is the question which has been asked many number of times. So it is mainly used to determine whether the semiconductor is N type or P type. So the Hall voltage will be positive for metal or N type semiconductors, and it will be negative for P type semiconductors. So this Hall effect is also used to find mobility of the charge carrier, concentration of the charge carriers, and to determine whether it is P type or N type. Okay, so simply also remember, so the Hall resistance will be increasing with temperature in case of metals and extrinsic semiconductors, whereas the Hall resistance will be decreasing with temperature. So we also have to remember one important formula related to conductivity, which is N into mu N plus P into mu P into Q, where N is the concentration of the electrons in conduction band and P is concentration of holes in valence band. Mu N is the mobility of electrons and mu P is the mobility of holes. So here there is an important point. So conductivity of a pure semiconductor will be increasing with temperature, and the conductivity value is 0 at 0 Kelvin. Okay, so next, whereas the conductivity of a extrinsic semiconductor will decrease with increase in temperature. So if you remember, whereas in resistor we have RT is R0 into 1 plus alpha delta T. So therefore, as the temperature difference increases, because a fixed value of positive alpha, as temperature will increase, resistance will increase. Also, conductivity of extrinsic semiconductor will initially increase as temperature rises from 0 Kelvin. So here we have a concept. At a particular temperature called Curie temperature, conductivity of extrinsic semiconductor will be equal to intrinsic conductivity.